Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the sim activity of the day. So today I'm bringing the kitchen to the sim room. So what we're going to make today is stained glass out of candy. So we're going to make up our own candy mixture. We're not going to, there is a way you can use hard candy such as Jolly Ranchers or Lifesavers. But we're going to use the DIY method, and then later on we'll test out that melting the candies and see which one came out better. So the ingredients that we're going to need are sugar. Here's my sugar. We're going to need 1 3/4 cups of sugar. I have some cooking spray, canola oil. I have some corn syrup here. I have some water and I have some cream of tartar. I have some flavoring. You don't have to add flavoring to yours, but I have lemon flavor. Let's see, I have some food coloring also. I have a stovetop safe dish. So here's my pot here. And I have my pan, my flat pan with my aluminum foil here that I'm going to use. So we're going to leave the camera at this angle so you can see the process. So we're going to get right onto it. Before we start, let's grease our pan and let that sit. Here we go. And grease it up really good. Now what you create out of this is up to you. So we're gonna leave this over here. We're gonna bring this back. Okay, so first, let's measure out some sugar. We're gonna use a cup and 3/4 cups of sugar. It's a cup. Three-fourths. Set that out of the way. Let's get our water here. I have my wet measurement. So we're going to use our dry measurement, but be mindful, dry and wet does not measure the same. It's like a little bit off. Corn syrup. Now we're going to use a setup for 2 different videos. This first video is going to be a free flow pouring stained glass out of candy. Our next one, we're going to try to make an ornament that we can actually hang up. Okay, we have all the corn syrup out of that. A little cream of tartar here, 1/8 teaspoon of cream of tartar. There we go. All right. Now, before we begin with warming it up, we're going to add our flavoring. I'm only going to use, so let's use some measurements here. I'm only going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon. Well, that was a little. We'll say I used a teaspoon of flavoring here. Now again, we're going to use this for 2 different setups here. Let's get a paper towel here. Okay, 2 different setups. Now, with candy, you want to do a slow boil. You want to get it to the temperature that you need, but slowly, because you don't want it to burn. So, here we go. Had to make sure it was on. Okay, here we go. You're also going to need a thermometer. And you need for your sugar mixture to come to the candy boiling point of 300 degrees. So at that temperature, when it cools off, the sugar mixture will harden up. Anything under that, it will leave it as a soft candy. So to get it hard and crisp, you need to get it to 300 degrees. Okay, so I have all of my sugar melted here. Unfortunately, you can't see it unless I reposition the camera. So, we're mixing here. We're mixing. So, I have it all boiled. At this point, I need to put on my safety goggles because once this starts boiling, you do not want sugar mixture in your eyes. So I'm starting to see some movement here. There we go, it's starting to boil now. A little bit at a time. So let's actually reposition this camera and get this going. Okay, we're at 180 now. All right. So we have it at our temperature. We're gonna turn that off. So now we're ready to make our designs. All right, so the first way, we're just gonna make regular crisp candy stained glass. We're gonna take that piece of aluminum foil that we greased earlier, and this is just to make it hopefully come out easier once it cools. So we have a cup of hot sugar here, hot sugar mixture, and what we're gonna do, since we're just making a regular stained candy glass, we're just gonna pour that in to where it covers the bottom. Okay, so let's get this flat. There we go. So now that we have that, let's add some coloring to it. So I just have food coloring here. You can use the gel coloring, which works best. Now we're gonna mix. And then for yellow, try to use a clean stick for yellow to try to get it all the way through. Here we go. Now we're gonna leave this to set for about 2 hours. After the 2 hours, it should be hard enough to go in and break. Now if you wanted to do clean cuts to make this 4 different squares, what you wanna do is after about an hour, check and see if it's soft hard. If it's to where you can press down and not and your finger doesn't sink all the way through, take a cutter, a pastry cutter. Take a pastry cutter and create your lines so when it officially hardens up, you can just simply break it. So you want to take pastry cutters, go in and start setting out your outlines. What I'm going to do is just do a rough break of this. So we're gonna let this sit. And we'll see the results after about 2 hours.